Every single soul wants to have the presence of God in their life. In fact, it's the design like this on purpose because God, who made your soul, your creator, left a little room there for himself. He didn't make you to be like a rock, right? He made you a soul. You crave something. What you crave is, of course, the presence of God. Now, God won't exist everywhere. He doesn't exist in sinful places. He doesn't exist amongst sinners. God exists where there is holiness. Holiness is symbolic to the word righteous or just, justice, fairness, equality, and that which is morally upright. In the Bible, which you don't have to believe it's from God, but it's a good book either way, right? For spiritual purposes. They have times when God is with the people and everybody's feeling good. They have times when God, is angry with the people and he punishes them. So what I'm trying to say is that there's different degrees to how close people are to God. Sometimes they're close. God is good. They're feeling good. You can feel the presence of God nearby. But sometimes you mess up and God distances himself from, or you distance yourself from God. So as a soul, all we want is to feel God's presence. Now, in order to feel God's presence, we have to be just. Justice. In other words, you have to, in some way or another, at least spiritually, seek fairness. It is true that it says in the scriptures, eye for an eye. I am not telling you to take revenge on anybody. But what I am saying is you should seek within your heart for things to be just. You should seek God's presence. If you wrong somebody, God will probably wrong you. If somebody wrongs you, God will probably wrong them. Because every soul wants to have the presence of God nearby. So you can feel that holy energy, which, by the way, sometimes in life, it's almost like it's in the air. Sometimes in life you can feel his presence, sometimes it's not so much there, sometimes it's more there. So everybody wants to feel it, and in order to feel it, there has to be justice. You can't be hurting people or offending them one way or another and then have God's presence in your life. Therefore, the meaning toward holiness, which is justice, which is God's presence nearby, which will cause God's presence to be nearby, is to keep things fair. Spiritually make things right. And this is already a natural process, not something you have to do, but it is something you have to submit to and follow. So it's a very touchy subject. I'm not telling you to go get revenge on nobody, but you should actively be seeking that direction toward God's presence, and this will automatically create the spiritual karma, if you will, of creating in the hearts of those who offended you, they'll come to justice, and those who you offended, you will come to justice. So yeah, everybody wants to feel God's presence. That's the source of goodness and pleasure.